Alright, I just cleared this game, going to record a little commentary. So I picked shot type, which starts you with 3 bombs. You get more bombs when you die, so like, after your first death, you get 4 bombs, after your second death, you get 5 bombs, up to a maximum of 6. Although sometimes you don't get bombs after you die, which is really, you don't get an extra bomb after dying. I'm not sure what caused it. I think it's when you die when you're in hyper mode, which is really annoying because my route here relies on spamming bombs a lot. So yeah, the other two, so I picked shot type, which is a stronger shot but a weaker laser. There's also laser type, which gives a stronger laser and faster movement when using the laser, but you only start with 2 bombs. And there's expert type, which I think is what most people recommend. It has both a strong shot and a strong laser, but you only start with 1 bomb. So I chose shot type because I found that I didn't really need a strong laser to like route the stages, and I wanted the extra bombs to cheese things in the lake. So this game has a chaining system that I don't really engage with at all. It's very strict. Yeah, it's very strict in a way that kind of annoys me. So I don't really do it. You don't really need to engage with it very much to get the 2 score extends, which are at, what is it, 10 million and 30 million? Or is that bill? No, I think it's million. So I used my first planned bomb here to skip this boss's last phase. Last phase isn't too bad, but you get a lot of bombs if you're playing this shot type, so it's free real estate, basically. So because my route for this game kind of relies on assuming that I will use my bombs well and not die with like a bunch of bombs in stock. And that honestly made this game really frustrating for me, playing it that way. I feel like it would probably have been more fun if I played the expert type, where you get fewer bombs and I actually had to learn the stages, but I don't know. I think I realized, wait, I can probably clear this game just by bomb spamming, and then I decided I had to go for it. Even though it's probably less fun than, like, spending time getting better at the game and not just spamming bombs to the last stage. I mean, I did have to practice the later stages quite a bit so that I knew what to do in between using bombs. Coming up is this mid-boss. So, as far as routing goes here, I do engage with the scoring system a little bit, by which I mean I use a hyper in the section after this mid-boss to get a big chain, and that gets me usually either most of the way or to the first score extend, so I'm going to use a hyper right around here. I'm deliberately ignoring the bees on the ground, because if I collect too many bees, they fill up your hyper gauge quite a bit, and I don't want to have a hyper going into the boss, because if you have a hyper, it overrides like your bomb button. I just want to have bombs available to use on the boss. I don't want to get the hyper. So you can see my hyper gauge, little pink gauge at the top, is almost full. I don't want to actually get that hyper until stage 3. So this boss, I usually try to use either 1 bomb or 2 bombs on it. If I can get away without bombing at all, then that's even better, but usually it's worth using bombs for the safety here, I find. So this upcoming blue pattern, I forgot if I actually try to dodge it. Oh, no, I don't. Okay. Yeah, I find it really easy to get walled by that pattern, so I usually bomb it, but sometimes I'll try to dodge it, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Stage 3 is where the routing aspect of the game gets a little more strict. Especially in the second half, you need to sort of like know where things are going to spawn and take them out quickly. The second half of the stage has a lot of these like big machines that clear the screen when you kill them, so you have to know where those are and make sure you take them out at the right time to get screen clears. Even with the first half, like, you need to take out these big ships that shoot all the blue bullets quickly as well. These big structures. Ended up taking a death there. Taking one death in stage 3 I find isn't too bad for the overall route. It does suck to take deaths in this game because it powers down your laser quite a lot. I mean, it powers down your shot too, but with the shot type, the powered down shot is still pretty strong, but the powered down laser is like this really thin, sucky thing. But yeah, if I manage to get through stage 3 with just one death, that's good. If I take 2 deaths, that's okay, but kind of annoying, kind of frustrating. And if I take 3 deaths, then I feel like the run's pretty much dead at that point. Like, I screwed up too much, I have to reset. So when you have a hyper, using a hyper clears the screen. So it's kind of like an extra bomb in that way, but you notice I bombed right after using the hyper. That's because the using a hyper clears the screen, and it gives you some iframes, I think, but it doesn't actually give you a lot of iframes. So what often happens is, like, I'll use a hyper, get the screen clear, and then immediately get trapped again and have to use a bomb. Or what happens frequently is I'll try to get away with not using a bomb and I'll end up taking a death. And that's really frustrating, dying right after using a hyper. Especially because, like I mentioned, I think if you die... Ooh, almost died there. I shouldn't have used a laser bomb. I probably should have used the, If you bomb while lasering, you get a laser bomb that's obviously more focused damage, but it slows you down. If you bomb while using your shot, you get kind of this, like, circular spread bomb that doesn't slow you down and you can move around more easily while it's going. Anyways, what was I saying? Something about, I think I was just saying that dying after using a hyper is annoying because I think that's what causes you to not get an extra bomb stock when you die. If you die while hypering, you get your bombs refilled, but you have the same number of bombs instead of getting an extra one. Like now, because I died once, I have 4 bombs instead of 3. Anyways, this boss, I find the first phase is not too bad, except for its second pattern, which is very fast, but the second phase I have a lot of trouble with and often use 1 or 2 bombs on it. Yeah, the first phase isn't too bad. It has, like... It has the second pattern with, like, the spinning blue bullets is fast, and sometimes I can't find a gap there. So I panic bomb it. But the rest is pretty learnable. So I have this section kind of vaguely routed, but not like super precisely. Like I know I have to take out those things on the side before they cause too much trouble. But I don't have like a really strict route, and I sometimes get walled by the smaller enemies that come in and shoot a lot of blue lasers. Here, I almost died there. I got a bit lucky. I forgot that I need to stay at the bottom of the screen to deal with those enemies coming in at you from the side. This section is pretty cool because you have these tank things coming along on the tracks, but you'll see here, this one sort of comes too close to the bottom of the screen. You kind of have to like go around and hit it from the back. And that's a recurring theme here, is that the tanks eventually get too close to the bottom of the screen. You have to like, you can't just stay at the bottom and take them out. You have to kind of go up the screen and loop around them. It's cool. I do like this game. It kind of pissed me off because of the way I was playing it. The way my strategy relies heavily on using all my bombs before dying, which is always a challenge in shmups. I was also like, so like last night, I was listening to The Hollow by Agatha Christie audiobook, and I was just like listening to it while I play this game. And the audiobook is like 7 hours long, and I ended up staying up until I finished the whole book. Just like grinding this game, getting mad when I take an early death, listening to mystery novel. That I think that was like a bad way to experience this game. I think I would have enjoyed it more if I sort of took it easy and didn't grind it for 8 hours while listening to a mystery novel. But that's how things work out sometimes. This section is hard. I got a bit of a lucky dodge there. I already got cornered once and had to use my hyper, got cornered again and got out of it with a lucky dodge. And then I died. And then this final section with the laser, I just don't know how to do it without bombing. I never figured it out. But we're at the boss now. We got full bombs, 2 lives. This run's in good shape. I very rarely make it this far with 2 lives. It's more common. Or is that true? I don't know. I feel like this run was on better pace than most of my runs getting to this point. All the patterns in the first phase here are pretty doable, but if you have bombs, it's just riskier to try and dodge them instead of using your bombs. Here I got a bit greedy and tried to dodge that first pattern here. And wasted 2 bombs, which isn't that bad. It's better than wasting 4 bombs. When those little gray gear things spiral out like that, I usually bomb there, and I usually bomb this final pattern as well. Although, sometimes I'll try to dodge it for a bit before bombing, but there's really not much point since 1 bomb will take it out. We're at stage 5. Having 1 life going into stage 5 is actually good by my standards, especially since I haven't got the second score extend yet. So I'm going to be able to go up to 2 lives pretty soon. And what I really want is... So at this point I also have a ton of resources because I've died a couple of times, so my bomb stock is, I think, up to either 5 or 6. Yeah, it's up to 5 now. There again, you see me using a hyper, but then it doesn't actually give me that much safety, so I bomb right after using the hyper. But yeah, so what I really want is to make it to the final boss with 1 spare life. Because if I have 0 lives going into the final boss, then even if I have full bombs, even if I have the full 6 bombs, it's kind of dicey. Like, I have done it in save state practice, but it's very scary, and I can't just bomb spam. I have to do a fair amount of dodging in between each of my 6 bomb uses. But if I go in with a spare life, then I kind of get like 1 free life to take down its health. And then, assuming I don't completely waste that free life, then it should be weakened enough that 6 bombs can take out the final boss, without it being too tight. So yeah, this stage is like, it's interesting even if you're bomb spamming it, because you have to learn it well enough to, like, I don't know how to say this, but it's like, it's not like you can just spam bombs and win. You have to kind of learn it well enough that you know how to handle most situations without a bomb, so that you can, like, survive for like a decently long time in between each bomb, even if you're using my route of, like, having a ton of bombs and spamming them. You'll notice that in this final section, I rarely use the laser. And of course I do get cornered and bomb a lot, like right here. But I think this part is, like, actually, like, I didn't feel like there were a lot of sections in this game where you really need to be lasering things. That's why I didn't find it, that's why I sort of found it, like, figured I can probably do this with the shot type. I don't need to use laser type or expert type and sacrifice that 1 extra bomb. Oh, this part is funny. I get kind of trapped and then some bullshit dodges happen because I didn't take out that thing on the left quickly enough. Or, well, didn't take it out at all, basically. So now I'm in dangerous territory because I'm down to 1 life. I've already got the score extend, so I'm not going to get any more. And I need to enter... Well, I don't need to, but my goal is to enter the final boss with that 1 life remaining, so... I'm very... How do I put it? I'm very, like... If I get in a dangerous situation, I'll just bomb. Like, this final section of the stage with these ships, it's hard. It's like... It's difficult to do without bombs, but I'm at the point where, like, I'm not even going to take any chances and I'm just going to bomb it so I can make it through without losing a life. So now we're at the final boss, who has a really cool theme song. And things pretty much go how I hoped they would go. I had that 1 extra life as a buffer, used 3 bombs to make sure I don't waste it, got trapped here. Usually going to the right there doesn't trap me. I find that normally works out, but I don't know. I didn't practice that pattern excessively. I practiced the final boss a bit, but my goal was not to become an expert at the final boss, is to get there with enough bombs to get through it without much difficulty. And so it does, even using all 6 of my bombs, it does get a bit tight, but we managed to take it out. So that's the first loop of Daioujou White Label cleared. I don't know, I haven't looked up what the conditions are for the second loop, but I evidently did not meet them. Yeah, I've heard, people generally say that the Black Label version is easier. I tried that one for a bit, and I noticed that the threshold for getting the score extents is higher. So I'm kind of like, well, maybe it is easier, but on the other hand, I would actually have to learn how to do the chaining to probably reach the second score extent. So I kind of like this version where I don't have to bother with that. But yeah, this game's cool. It, didn't leave as much of an impression on me as Ketsui did, because I cleared it very quickly and played it in kind of a weird way where I grinded it for 8 hours while listening to an Agatha Christie book. But it's cool.